Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and good afternoon, wherever you are. First of all, let me big up to the New York Knicks for winning the championship, 2026 championship. Knicks in five. Can you see that? The Knicks in five. That's that was my celebration right there with the New York Knicks that won the championship, 2026 championship. Let's go to serious business right now. Let's talk about politics. Politics in Nigeria. First of all, I have some comedy sketch that I put down for you to check it out. In Nigeria, parties don't break up; they just change names, like musician rebranding after a flop album. You know, you know that the Nigerian politics is the only place where promises come with warranty, but the warranty expires before it's delivered. Talking about campaign promises, politicians, we all have seen them that they give campaign promises that they don't keep. They said they would give 24 hours electricity, but only if you count on the hours people spent waiting for NEPA to bring light back. What do you think? You wait for hours without even getting to enjoy, and they take what they call it, bills that they ask you to pay anyways, without even using the amenities. That's ridiculous. On politicians switching parties, they switch parties like they're changing clothes. In Nigeria, politicians change parties more than football, than footballers change clubs. At a point, I'm just waiting for one to announce a transfer season on Super Sports. Can you dig that? You know, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this program. I haven't been here for quite a while due to some circumstances beyond my control, but I am back. I'm back as ever before. Welcome aboard. When I was preparing for this program, I didn't know where to really begin due to the dysfunctional government of the Tinubu administration, who came into office in 2023. The Tinubu administration came into office with no agenda in place. For a subsidy, it's nowhere to be found. Banditry, kidnappings, failed leadership, weak policies. We've seen it. Political senators, parties, defection of politician to other political parties, so-called farmers, elders conflicts, police brutality. We've seen it. Climate related displacement and separatist tension, economic hardship, lack of infrastructure, unemployment, displaced citizens in ID camp, security forces made thin and made coordinated responses difficult. Corruption. Folks, I'm going to be addressing some of these issues and some of that you already know. This edition won't take the entire series, but I am going to spread it into 2 to 3 series, depending on the availability of time. Welcome to the program. You see, we just had the OSUN election a few days back. Today is Tuesday, and you can see that the APC government, they did all they could do to try to um, rig the election in the Osun State capital. They wanted to displace a delegate who was the incumbent governor of the state. But unfortunately, things didn't work out. The masses came out, the old papa and the old mamas and the youths came out to vote and protected their votes, did not allow any uh, INEC officials or security forces to come closer to where the coalition was taking place. Because I saw in some videos yesterday how some uniform officers were trying to go to the polling area, but they were not allowed to go closer by the youths. They were asked to go back, and it caused some confrontation to a point where some of the youths were in confrontation with the officers, even with their weapon at hand. You see, APC, they out to no good. They want to do everything possible to win an election. They don't believe in themselves. They're using INEC officials and the chairman himself, the Lupitan, the chairman picked by President Tinubu to see into elections in Nigeria. It happens that the INEC chairman, Mr. Olupitan, as a lawyer, is an SAN lawyer with a reputation, but the way I see him, he's not fit for that job. He's not fit for that job. It's too slow to my liking, and he hasn't done any tangible policy as far as I'm concerned. Strict policy telling APC what the rule of engagement should be. It's not APC telling him what to do, because that's the case right now. He's dancing to the tune of the APC instead of vice versa. You see, is that how we're going to do this election coming 2027? That's the talk of the town every day, in homes, on the streets. The youths are ready, man. The youths are ready to take it back. We're not going to sit down, sit back and relax while the APC do the. You know what I noticed again? I noticed that the all of the governors, uh, APC governors, and the so-called defected APC governors were in OSUN State. Can you believe that? They were all in OSUN State. About how many? Was it 30 or something? With their new clothes, they call it the adire, like the Yoruba people will say. They had some clothes made for this election that took place on Saturday. Unfortunately, they lost. They left that place in shame. You couldn't believe it. And big up to Davido, who was sticking by his uncle. He wouldn't give up. He was tweeting, and he got a lot of followers, but 170,000 above lives. Reporting. Everybody was reporting to know, what was going on in that state. If you are a governor or whatever senator and you leave your state to another state in form of rigging election, bet you me you're going to lose your seat. You don't have no business leaving your state to go and conduct. You are not an INEC official. So what are you leaving your state for? To go and rig because they gave you money, gave you millions of naira, if not in dollars, they were paid. The governors were given lots of money, you know, to perpetuate this crazy election that the INEC said is doing. INEC is playing. INEC is not serious for now. I don't think Olukuton is serious. I don't see him like he's serious. He's not even talking. He hardly speak. And that's someone who's going to conduct an election. And some of the INEC officials made some confession over this past weekend in Osun State that they were given money to do this and to do that. They spoke the truth. So, folks, let's be ready. 2027 is coming. It's around the corner. Before you know it, let's not give this APC any chance to win an election. They don't deserve it. When Tinubu came into office in 2023, he didn't have an agenda for the country. He came in to be like a flamboyant guy with his Jagaban, they call himself, with his style of politics, then as a governor of Lagos State. But it turns out that he has no clue what he was doing or what he intended to do. He was just making speeches without any idea of the economy. He just he thought that Nigeria was Lagos State and he could just bounce in there and start doing things. But that didn't work out. Notice that that was a different ball game. Things didn't work out the way he thought it could. All of the pre-election campaign speeches he gave and post-election interviews were just mere speculation, which has no bearing on what he was talking about. The Patriots team, led by the chief, Dr. Anyanwu, visited the villa twice to give him, Tinubu that is, some helpful advice on how to tackle the economy situation in the country. And he refused to listen and ignore the advice he was given by the powerful team. And this is the result that we see now. Banditry, place is upside down, kidnapping, and all that. Lack of infrastructure, Lagos Calabar highways, all those is a mess. David Umahi thinks that he's doing a good job. No, just like to talk and make silly arguments, thinking he's making points. You know, he's not doing that. So Tinubu came into office, came in to spend money because he thinks he got it all like that on him. And he lived large with crazy expenses, expensive cars, traveling indiscriminately to any place he wishes. Bought a jet, bought a limousine like the one Trump is using. That tells you that he was not serious to become a serious president. He came to have fun, and the fun was a slap on his face. He could see the reaction. He got it from the bandit too. Bandits were furious by the way he was handling the country. So the Nigerian citizens were going through some traumatic experiences with insecurity and kidnapping and torture and death. The Tinubu administration don't give a damn what was going on in the country. And the so-called APC government willing to come back for re-election to do what? To add more suffering to what is already in existence. Hmm? It doesn't happen like that. No. What are they coming for? What are they coming to do? What have they already done? People are suffering. You can hardly feed, 3 square meal. People can have a job. If you give somebody 50 naira today, or 100 naira, he he's thanking you like you've resurrected him or her. What type of country is that? What type of government is that? And we're going to sit back and let the same government to come back for re-election. It won't happen. This is why the youths need to stand up and fight back. Take that country back. Let's push out this old folks, grumpy old man. We don't see what they do at the government house anyways. Their priority is to share money as a priority. No good legislation. I've heard no good legislation. Not at all. Whereas there should be many. I've given so many instances what the government should have done. For instance, this kidnapping and banditry on people traveling from state to state. They should have marshals on the streets, plying the busy roads, or transportation executives should meet with the security forces to make a plan. You either escort these transport vehicles along when they travel, or just mount security along the routes that are busy, because Christmas period is coming. Because a lot of people that don't have money for flights, they're gonna be traveling by road anyways. And we should have security marshals on the road. Military, tough, armed security forces to ply all nooks and corners of the roads to make sure that it's safe for every citizen that's going from point A to point B. That's how you know how a serious president is looking after their citizens. Not this one that we have here, Tinubu, that leaves the country at any given time if there are crises or not. He doesn't care. He goes anywhere. And he has been avoiding the press for interview. And the press don't push it. They just allow it to slide. They got executive media top executives that should push the Aso Rock uh, staff to make uh, President Tinubu grant an interview. The state of Nigeria. What's going on? What are the policy that we should be expecting? They saying, oh, they gave um, increase of salary to the military. What of the middle class? You just gave 70,000 naira. What does that take on average Nigerian to feed their family? And the kids, they got to feed. 70 naira doesn't do it. It should be at least 250,000 naira for average worker in Nigeria. 250 to start. What is 70? This is why the Nigerian youths and folks, mamas and papas, youths all over the place, get this APC people out and put the right person. You all know should be the right person to run the country. Is it Obi? Is it what his name? The NDC Tiku. I heard that the accord signing for the OSUN state was not cordial. Some of the political candidates did not show up. What are they signing a court for? Must they sign a court each time there's an election in Nigeria? The local government, governorship, presidential, as of assembly, is an accord to sign. Why is that? This is where INEC comes in to stop all that nonsense. If let me be an INEC chairman and see what happens. Any political party that has talks, confronting other political opponents, they are disbanded, they are suspended for that election. You could cry foul, but that's your decision already taken. That can be changed. So I'll tell them, if you like, just tell your talks and political, talk guys to torment other political parties and see what happens. Your party gonna be suspended for that election, cancelled, while the others go for the elections. You might look at it, it's not fair, that's what it is. We cannot, Nigeria in particular, cannot continue to do peace accord each time there's an election. It's got to stop. Got to stop. Some few things we got to go through is that between 2023 and 2026 alone, over 30,000 people, even more than, have been killed by armed groups, including bandits with women, children, making up a large share of the victims. Entire communities have been displaced. Overwhelming local government communities and humanitarian systems have been kind of suppressed. Nothing is happening in that area. So many people at the ID camp. There's no good living condition in there. I saw it on television. People are suffering. No good 3 square meal to be proud of. If you get one good solid square meal, it's hallelujah. Yet we have APC who say they want to govern, and yet they don't take care of the people. And they want to come back for re-election. Who does that? Nigerians, they are wiser now. Wise people. Get some water. We had over time where multiple security threats happening all at once, left, right, center, east, north, west, and south. It doesn't seem like the Tinubu administration is dealing with one problem. He's dealing with multiple, alongside banditry that I said before. Gang violence, farms, others, conflict, police, brutality, climate related displacement, separatists, tension, economic hardship. All this combination stretches security forces thin and makes coordinated responses very difficult to handle. It also has impact on education and national development. Banditry has led to mass kidnappings of students, forced schools closures, and disruption of education across several states. This has long-term consequences for national development and community stability. It also has impacted the social economic drivers, poverty, unemployment, and weak governance. Many of the bandit groups from marginalized communities where poverty is extreme and government presence is weak. Without addressing these root causes, military action alone cannot solve the problem. It also has impacted slow and inconsistent government responses. Studies evaluating past administration highlights issues such as delay refunds, poor coordination between security agencies, political interference, lack of accountability. These factors made it difficult for the government to implement a sustained, effective security strategy. Why is government struggling to maintain peace? The problem is bigger than policy or military action. It is a mix of weak institutions, underfunded military forces, deep poverty, organized criminal networks, political and governance failures, climate and economic pressures. Even when government deploys forces, the underlying conditions that fuel banditry remains. We're going to be talking about some of the solutions in subsequent program. Um, just to give you one of those solutions before ending this program today, there's the need to fix and professionalize the police, not just deploy soldiers. Core idea: you can fight a long term internal security crisis with the military alone, like I've said. You need a strong, trusted, well equipped police force. What that means in practice is more personnel in rural and urban areas, better training in intelligence investigation, forensics, decent salaries and welfare so officers are less vulnerable to corruption, modern equipment and data system for tracking crimes and suspects. Without a functional police system, bandits just regroup after every military operation. The real community policing, not just a slogan, core ideas. Security must be rooted in the people would actually live in those communities. What it look like is that local vigilante groups and traditional leaders integrated into a formal regulated framework. Police officers who speak the language know the terrain and know the actors. Regular town hall style security meetings between residents, police, and local officials. When people trust security actors, they share information without without intelligence, the state is blind. Ladies and gentlemen, um, I'm going to put a close to tonight's edition. Whatever you're watching, might be day time in your area, might be evening, but here we are at nighttime. So thank you so very much. Nigeria youths should not relent in their efforts to take it back, take your country back, and let not give these APC folks, the grumpy old folks, chance to take us back. Nigeria right now is, let me say, 10 years back when other countries like India, Bangladesh, Egypt, and other countries are fast ahead of Nigeria. And each government that comes in think, because the citizens don't complain, doesn't mean they should, take us for granted that we don't know what's going on. Enough is enough. We're not going to tolerate that anymore. It's time to push, to make it uncomfortable for all these politicians to keep doing what they're doing. It's about time they stop all of that nonsense. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so very much for watching. We're going to continue this series for more points so that we'll get it right. OSUN just did, and I say congratulations to Governor Adeleke and his team. The only point I want to make about the Governor Adeleke was that after he won the election, he was giving praises to Tinubu as saying that he supported his re-election because he's a Yoruba man. You don't do that, sir. You could be a Yoruba man, but you don't say you support him because you won an election. If you had lost, what would you have said? Please, sir, that's not how to make a victory statement. Maintain your party, thank those that gave you the re-election, not saying you support Tinubu, with people trying to get rid of him. So I don't know why you gonna give him credit, say you support him because he's a Yoruba man. It could be. See where the country is today. He has no clue, has no idea how to run the country. This is not Lagos State. He was running Lagos State as like it's his own company. But he couldn't run the country. You could see where the difference is. The difference was clear. He couldn't do that. So, sir, Mr. delicate governor of Osun State. Wish you well in your 4 years in office. You fight for yourself, fight for your party, and for your people, a citizen of Osun State, not the president, Tinubu, because he has done nothing. Everybody is suffering. Country is in a mess. He has no clue of how to resolve the economy. He has been told a couple of times how to solve and how to go about it. He has refused because it's a way of fighting, stabilizing the economy is different from when the Patriots team came to his office for uh, interaction. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much, and have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll be talking to you next. I remain yours sincerely, Max Momo, all the way live. Have a very pleasant day. Stay blessed. I'm out.